This is a network marketing company. I can sit here all day long and tell you about why network marketing is good. One thing I've learned about this industry after being around it for 15 plus years, there's been a paradigm shift of the way people view this opportunity. Used to be years ago when I was in the Amway business, where I started my career for 13 years, is everyone used to say that's a pyramid scheme, the guy on the top makes all the money and all that stuff. Listen, if you want to talk about that, ask me questions later, I'll answer them for you. But the reality is this, every single great business out there works through a network. Car dealerships have networks, Microsoft has a network of people that sell their products, and so on and so on and so on. That's all we do. In this business, the concept's real simple. On every single product, whether it be gel, or bottled water, or a whey protein, or something like that, there's points attached to every product. The simple formula for this business is this. We share with people something we're excited about. I say, hey, listen, I'm excited about this product, this company. We found a way we can make some pretty significant money. Don't know if you're looking, but here. Person drinks it, they like it, we talk. That creates volume, right? I could create the volume by ordering a truckload of water and having it delivered to my house. That's not what I do. What I do as a business owner is I choose to order a few cases a month that show up at my door, just like everybody in this room can do. And then I choose to go out and hand a few bottles out and share stuff like this. And the attitude is this, SW, 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 next. Some will, some won't, so what next? Don't take that the hard way. I'm not trying to offend you. But the reality is this, it's not for everybody. That's true, right? But the idea is this. We share it with people, however you feel comfortable sharing. We have a whole internet system that teaches people how to market online, have people calling you. Bill, that's how you came into business, right?
What?
Through the internet.
Through the internet.
Through the internet. Had you ever met Kathy before?
No.
100% internet, right? So we have a full system that teaches people how to use an online system that we've created to generate interest in your product and your company. We also do stuff like this. The idea is this. It's about exposure. We share the product, we share the opportunity. Some will, some won't, so what next, right? So here's what happens. When you get started in this business, there's a thing called a fast start bonus. Basically, here's how this works. Let's say this is you Inc. Okay? You can call your company whatever you want to. You don't work for me, okay? You work for yourself. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself, because there's a group of people, a team in place that's going to help you, that has a vested interest to see you succeed. That team is called Evolv Life Team. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a few minutes. But here's what happens. When you get started in business, every single person gets started by building two business centers, okay? That's a business center on the left and a business center on the right. What is a business center? A person. It's an individual. It's a person that says, hey, I like this product, I think it's a pretty cool idea, I'm going to give it a shot. That's a business center, okay? So you get started, everyone gets a person or a business center on the left and a business center on the right. What happens is this, depending on how that person chooses to start their business, they can choose a couple of cases, 4 cases, 8 cases, 14 cases, a mixture of the product, the gel, or the water, however they choose to come in, totally their choice, okay? You get what's called a fast start bonus. I'm going to use the example of a visionary pack. The visionary pack is how much? $8.95. So, and again, this is just an example for the model. You can come in however you want to. The idea is real simple. Whenever you help a new person get started, you receive a 25% fast start bonus. $125, right? So if you have 2 people get started, it's $250. Remember I talked about that upfront money? Why is it important when you get started out of the gate, have a handful of people get started, it pays for your product, it pays for your cost of getting started in business. I've been in business for a long time, not just in this industry. I've owned construction companies, I've done some other things. This is the only business I know of where you can cover your cost of starting the business in a pretty short amount of time, okay? When I was in the screen business, it cost a lot of money to get in the screen enclosure and contracting business. Other things I've done took a lot of money. It took us time to break even. And here, it's a couple $100 to get started. It's actually, what, $49 to secure a spot, and then you to choose which pack you want to come in at. The idea is fast start bonuses are paid out weekly. Every single week you get a check based on the number of people that sign up and which pack they choose. Is that pretty so? That's pretty easy to understand, right? Everyone gets 2 business centers, a left and a right. You get a 25% bonus on whatever pack they choose to come in at. Now, Second level of this is if this person, let's just say this is Joe. Joe has 2 people get in, and Joe has 2 business centers. Those 2 people come in at the visionary pack, just like your 2 people came in. Joe is going to get that 25% fast start bonus. But because you helped Joe get started, you will get a 10% fast start bonus on those purchases. Okay? Pretty easy to understand fast start bonuses. 25% on the people that you bring into the business, 10% on the people they bring into the business. That's the fast start bonus. Okay? Paid out weekly, never goes away. Keep getting fast start bonuses whenever that happens. Okay? The second way that we get paid, and by the way, I'm giving you a highlight. There's about 10 different ways that we make money. I'm giving you the quick. Okay, so here's what happens. Here's you. You've got Joe and Mike. Don't worry about if you can read it. I can't read it either.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yes.
I don't know if it's clear to people that you can personally sponsor as many people as you want. So when you sponsor other people, they go down in one of those trees, but you still get the fast start bonus.
Yeah, I'm going to show that right here.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So Joe and Mike are 2 people that you help get started, 2 business centers, right? What happens is, remember, everybody builds in 2s. Okay? Joe's going to have Bill and Susie. Mike's going to have Tom and Larry and Mo and Curly and Susie and Bill. And the 2s keep going. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Make sense? Here's what happens. Remember, fast start bonuses is based on who you personally bring in the business and who they bring in. That's the fast start bonus, and that's how it works. What Kathy was saying, great point, is this can go thousands of levels deep. Meaning this, call that 1 level, call that level 2, call that level 3, okay? As this goes down, it can go forever. To infinity and beyond, as Buzz Lightyear would say. The idea that Kathy was saying is, if this is Paige, so this is Paige International, I may be spelling your name wrong, Paige, but if it's Paige International, Paige can sponsor Joe and Mike, and then down here at 100 levels deep, you sponsor Tom. Well, Tom is someone that you personally sponsored. Even though they're 100 levels deep, you still get the fast start 25%. Okay? But the binary commission, here's how it works. They take your left and your right business centers, the volume in both. So let's say that this one's doing $20,000 a week in volume. This one's doing $10,000 a week in volume. They take the lesser of the 2, and they pay you between 10 and 12.5% on a weekly binary commission. So your fast start bonuses.
Lesser amount, right?
Yeah. So if this is $20,000 a week, that's $10,000 a week. You're getting 10 to 12.5% of the 10,000. Now I'm going to show you where all this ties in. You don't lose the volume over here. In a binary, you're paid. Look, there's 2 ways of paying in a binary. You could pay on the total volume, a percentage, or on the lesser of the 2. Okay? So on this, they pay you 10 to 12.5% of the lesser. Now, the cool thing about our binary is in a lot of companies with binary commissions. I have a great friend that's with a company. He's been with them since they started 6 years ago. And he makes $12 million a year. You probably heard the company's called Monavi. They're a juice company. He's the #1 earner in Monavi. His name is Brickhart. Brick makes a lot of money, okay? In their binary, it caps out. You can only make, I think it's like 40 grand a month is the max that you can make from this 10 to 12.5%, okay? With our binary, here's what's unique about our comp plan. A person could literally, theoretically, get started, sponsor Joe and Mike, and let this just take off. And they could realistically, over time, this could grow big enough, our binary caps out at $50,000 per week. So, a person can get started, sponsor 2 people, get them started the right way, and they're like Bill. They say, we're going to tear this thing up. And Bill is the type of guy that's been around this industry for a while. Deborah's been around this industry for a while. What they know is this. Their success is based on what they do and who they help. And so those type of people just go. They need a little bit of, let's go, we can do this together. But once they get going, it's like, get out of my way. I'm tearing this thing up because they understand the compensation. So what happens is, if this is Bill and this is Deborah, eventually, who knows where this thing goes, but the person that's cool about this is now just this one part, just this one thing, a person literally has the opportunity to make $50,000 per week. That's, what, $2.4 million a year, just from this. Now, that excited me, because the company I was most recently with before I made the decision to come here, this maxed out at $25,000 per month. Couldn't go higher in this part of the comp plan. But, that being said, in my opinion, that's really just the beginning. And here's the thing. We pay out weekly. So through fast start bonuses that never go away, and building a couple of business centers and helping people get started, Joe gets started. Here's what I teach. I'll just show this a little training, but here's what I teach people. I help 2 people get started. If I was helping Bill and Deborah get started, this is exactly what I do. I would sit down with Bill and I'd say, Bill, listen, you know 100 people, 200, you know people I don't know. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Let's together just make a list of 100 plus people, and then here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at that list, and I want you to tell me who are the 2 people that you know, that trust you, that know you, like you, and trust you. And if you called them on the phone and said, I just took a look at a business idea, I can't make any promises, but I may have just found something that could really help us both. Would you look at it with me? If that person will sit down and you really think that they're the one, I'm going to go with you, Bill. And I'm going to go with Bill, and I'm going to help Bill show this business to those 2 people. We're going to get those 2 people started. And then here's the concept I teach. Pick 2, help 2, teach 2. I want to help him pick 2. I'm going to go with Bill and help him get those 2 people started. And then I'm going to teach Bill by helping those 2 people make a list, pick their 2, go and help them with their 2, and somewhere at about 4 levels deep, Bill's going to look at me and say, I got it. This is what happens. Bill looks at me and says, I know Bill. Bill looks at me on the way there and tells me he's got it. But the idea is, he says, I got it. This is no big deal. Pick 2, help 2, teach 2. Pick 2, help 2, teach 2. Pick 2, help 2, teach 2. I got it. The system, let's rock and roll. And that's really what happens. And all of a sudden, everyone just starts picking 2, helping 2, and teaching 2. And this duplicates and keeps going and going and going and going and going. And the person can get to a lot of money. But here's what's really exciting for me. And I think for other people as well. What they do is this in this compensation plan. This is Page International, okay? You don't mind me using it as an example, okay? Remember, as we were building over here, everybody builds 2 business centers at a minimum. You start 2, and it goes down like this, right? And just on and on. So here's what happens. Let's say that you have personally helped 10 people get started in this whole process of going deep. What they do is they calculate in their whole computer system everyone that's in your binary in depth that you've personally sponsored now in this unilevel part of the plan comes below you horizontally. Okay?
This is the unilevel part of the structure.
This is the unilevel part of the structure. So here, every single person that Paige has personally helped get started is identified in the system as a personal business center to you. So, just for the sake of the drill, give me the name of 3 people you know that like to be healthy and wouldn't mind making a few extra couple $1,000 a month.
Your first name is Zerbin.
Zerbin?
Yes.
All right.
Troy and George.
Troy and George. All right, we'll just go with those 3. So here's what happens. Troy, George, and Zerbin. I love Zerbin. I gotta meet Zerbin. That's a great name. He'll definitely be successful. So here's the deal. We're going to help them get started with that same concept. Pick 2, help 2, teach 2. Like that, right? Well, now they're your personal business centers. They're personally sponsored by you in the business. Here's what's so cool about this. Let's just say that using this model of 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, 3 years from today, through that concept of fast start bonuses, binary checks, and I'm only covering highlights here, folks. There's lots of ways to make money. Let's just say that now Zerbin has a pretty successful business, and he's making $5,000 a week from his business. Troy, very successful. Troy's making $10,000 a week. Let's say George is making $1,000 a week. Okay? This is considered level 1 of level. The level 1 commission, and don't hold me to the percentage because they just made comp plan adjustments. Okay? They just made some changes because they just added more money to the front end of our plan. And here's what I'll tell you. They just changed our comp plan a little bit. There used to be more money on the back end. Now what they've done, this is a sign of leadership. They took 2% that used to go to top earners, and they pulled it back to the beginning for anyone making less than $1,000 a month. If you're at a certain, as you're building your business, they have a global bonus pool that they 2% of all company profit, and that 2% is paid back to those people making less than $1,000 a month. What does that mean? It's like an extra $150 to $300 a month if you're new. That's significant because we want to help people make money out of the gate, keep them excited, want them to get to higher money. That changed this a little bit, but here's what it is. On level 1, Paige, you help these people, pick 2, help 2, teach 2. Over time, they build this. The company will pay you, not out of their pockets, but out of company profit. And they're going to pay you somewhere between 65% and 100% of their check. So, Troy's making $10,000 a week. Based on the comp plan, let's say it's at 65%. You would get a check for $6,500 that week based on Troy's business. Again, not out of Troy's pocket, doesn't touch his $10,000 a week, over and above company profits. This is when you looked at that binary, that $20,000 you didn't make money on in the binary, when it gets flip-flopped horizontally, now you get paid on it. Make sense? So what happens is, let's just, for the sake of the drill, let's just average it at 50%. Okay? You can look at the stuff here and see the actual percentages. Here's what I've learned. If you help 10 people make $5,000 a week, let's just call it $20,000 a month, right? 10 times 20,000 is how much? 200,000? If your average is making a 50%, this is called a check matching bonus. You now get a check matching bonus that month of $100,000. So level 1, I know these are big numbers, but I'm just showing you, this is the comp plan. So fast start bonuses never go away. Binary commissions that you have the ability to make up to $50,000 a week never go away until they get to $50,000 a week. And then in the unit level, on every single person you help, whether their check is $30 or $3,000, you're getting somewhere between 65 and 100% of a check matching bonus on their business. Well, that's good, right? How many of you would agree that's a good thing?
That's awesome.
You can make a lot of money over a period of time. This is where people make, you hear the stories of the people that make millions of dollars and buy big houses on the beach. They make it from stuff like this. Here's what happens. This doesn't end here. Troy has to go out, and let's say Troy personally sponsors people, obviously, in his business. Well, when Troy has whatever here, and there's X amount of dollars, Troy is getting that 65 to 100% because, does that make sense? That's Troy's level 1. Well, that's your level 2. There's a percentage here. I don't even know what it is, 35 to 50. Okay? Check matching to Page International. Well, this continues. Now, in this comp plan, how many levels does it go to? 5 to 7? I don't even know. But it's infinity, because one of the things that we're also adjusting right now, we're adding to this comp plan, is something called dynamic compression. What that basically means is, when this goes below the 5th level, and you have all these people down here, and a lot of compensation plans, it ends right there. You make to here, and that's it, which still people make millions of dollars. What we are doing with this comp plan is dynamic compression means everything below that 5th level, and I'm talking like 10 years from now, that's 75,000 people, it all pushes up to your 5th level. However deep it is. If you go, like my mentor, Bubba, he's got an organization of 350,000 people in 32 countries. Here's what's amazing. He's with a company that started back in 1959, and that company, if his business, this is what's so amazing, he makes a lot of money, okay? A lot of money. From 1992 to 1999, he made over $50 million in the Amway business. Just tell you, the Amway business, you've heard of it before. He made a lot of money. But his business, under that compensation plan, if he picked his business up and threw it into Evolv, this guy's business in Korea, they move 300,000 tubes of toothpaste every month. In Korea. And if that were in this compensation plan, he would be making probably $50 million a year. He and I joked around about it one day. He would never leave because he's still making $7 million a year in the Amway business. But the idea is, what's so cool when I talk about other countries, this compensation plan also, this is kind of the newer compensation of network marketing. It has what's called a seamless compensation plan. And I'm not knocking Amway, because the Amway business changed my life, and my best friend mentor is still in the Amway business. But in the Amway business, my friend started a business here, and then someone in his business that picked to help to teach to concept found somebody in Korea. And his business went to Korea in Amway, but in Amway's compensation plan, you have to have 3 personally sponsored people in Korea or any other country you go into. You literally create a new business in new countries. Bubba is a Bubba from Gainesville, Florida. He didn't know anybody in Korea, so he said, why would I ever go to Korea? Well, he's got about 100,000 people in Korea in his business. He only makes about $10,000 a year from his Korean business through the Amway model. In this model, if this was Page International and you sponsored Troy, and somewhere down here, a person in Korea got started, it's a seamless compensation plan. You get paid as if that person were your next door neighbor. That's amazing. Especially when you have a company that has a vision of 20 countries in 5 years. Because here's the thing about this industry. I meet Bill. Bill introduces me to Mike. Mike introduces me to Jose. Next thing I know, I'm in Mexico. I'm in Brazil. You've seen this. You've seen this probably as well, Deborah. The idea is when you have a seamless compensation planning, it doesn't change the comp plan. That was one of the biggest changes a handful of years ago in this industry was in companies like Amway and some other ones that you went to a new country, well, you had to actually go and start a whole new company, whole new business there, and build it there as well as here. This is unique because you're building locally to grow globally, okay? And so, just to wrap this up, and I'll answer questions, you get started for a couple $100. $49, choose your product. You help a couple people get started. You plug into a system that we've developed called the Evolv Life Team System. This was our other final component that made us choose Evolv Health. We had to be with a company that gave us permission to build a leadership platform for the people. Bill and I talked about this briefly the very first time he and I talked on the phone. He's been around this industry for a long time. Here's what we talked about. If you don't grow your people, you'll never be able to grow your business. Because we all come in with some type of baggage, preconceived ideas, preconceived whatever. And, Paige, I'm sorry, what do you do for a living?
I'm a retired tennis pro. I run a tennis program.
Okay, perfect. You're an expert, and to me, you would be a complete expert in tennis. Okay, I would come to you to learn about how to hit a tennis ball, right? But if you, not knowing anything about network marketing, came into the network marketing world, the first question that a person asks when they get in this business is, what do I do? What's next? Well, we've got the professional tennis players or the professional network marketers, the people that have built these businesses for years. What we've done is we've developed a leadership training module, if you will, that has continuing education, an ongoing system of helping to raise people's level of thinking, teach them the practical application of how to build a business like this, from people that have made 7-figure incomes in the industry. From 50 grand a year to 7 figures, those people know how to build this. And they teach people how to do the same thing. We develop CDs, DVDs like you watched, presentation binders, all kinds of things. But the whole purpose of it is to raise a person's personal growth so that they can grow their business. Last part I'm going to show you, and then we're done. What we created with this, and this is what we had to have final approval from the company, and for me, this was what sealed the deal, because some years ago, remember I told you earlier, my passion is people, and my biggest heart's desire is to see people truly walk in their God-given destiny, to live their dreams, and to be everything that God created them to be. That's what I go to sleep at night thinking about it, I wake up in the morning thinking about it. It starts with my kids, with my wife, with everybody I meet. I want people to realize their destiny. That's what I'm all about, that's what I love to do. So I knew we had to have something that gave people the ability to do that. What we created with ELT is this, and I'll do this real quick and simple.